Hello, everybody.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get a magician. I'm
fuck.
really trying. I haven't been given much time to get a magician.
I don't want a shit one, though.
Oh, okay. 4 days before your 30th.
Thank you.
30th.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. That felt good.
4 days
Hot.
before your 40th.
Hot.
I'm trying to find an emergency magician in Bondi that's free, and you're telling me it better be a good one. At this point, I'm going to do the card tricks. I actually know a couple of card tricks.
Brittany, you can only come to my birthday party if you learn some magic tricks.
Oi, I actually know some. I can make men disappear real quick.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Life Uncut. I'm Laura.
I'm Brittany. Laura's 40.
I'm turning 40, everyone! Woo! Can you do not begrudge me of my last 2 days of my 20s?
One
my
day. It's 24 hours.
Well, no, this is
For the listener.
Sorry. I apologise.
What time were you born? Let's do your birth chart.
I asked my mum, and she doesn't know.
You know, we did the birth chart Tony May event. Did you not get your own birth chart?
No, mine was a lie. Sorry. When I was in India a couple of years back, I went to this incredible horoscope person who does all your whatever it is. Obviously, I'm super into it, so I know all the details. Anyway, she's famous in India. And she was like, I need to know the exact time and location of your birth. And I messaged my mum and she said, oh, you were born in Maitland. I don't remember when. And I was like, surely you could have a punt, mum. She was like, I think it was in the morning. It's true middle child vibes. She knows my brother's time and she knows my sister's time, which mum speaks volumes, actually.
I didn't know mine until you made me ask.
For my 40th, I would like some therapy.
Oh my God, so lucky. That's what we got you. Laura's so hard to buy for. We booked her into a year of therapy.
To be fair, wouldn't be mad about it.
Practical.
You wouldn't go.
No, you'd be like, I don't have the time for this.
So yes, look, I mean, as of time of, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, Thursday's my birthday, everyone. So I turned 40. And I know we talked about it a little bit before, and I put something up on socials yesterday. I think for a long time I felt terrified of this number. I had it in my head that 40, because it really does cement you in the midlife. Someone kindly messaged me yesterday and she said, no, sweetheart, midlife isn't until 45. And fuck, if I make it to 90, that's great. But
I don't think it is. I think that's midlife if you're born now, but we've already been here 40 years. So we're not of that generation.
Yeah,
we haven't had the same healthcare. Because the life expectancy when you're born now is longer. So your midlife gets pushed back. But we were born too early.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
We've also drunk too many plastics. There's so much plastic in my body.
You're drinking plastic.
Well, no, just
We're all drinking plastic.
the microplastics that we've absorbed at this point.
I thought we were playing Goon of Fortune. Laura's drinking plastic. That explains so much.
I was born in Wollongong. We were also sniffing petrol too.
You were born in Maitland.
Oh, yes.
I can say this because I'm from around there. That would be on brand.
Well, that's a joke. Sorry to everyone.
It is a
from
joke,
Maitland.
but it's an
Maitland's
in-house
beautiful.
joke.
Yeah, and also
My niece and nephew live in Maitland.
I take it back. I love Maitland. Fuck you all.
For anyone who doesn't know, Maitland is half an hour outside of Newcastle.
It's a great little country town.
Yeah, it was a great time of my life. Anyway, look, I was saying it's midlife. Someone was very kind and said I still had 5 more years, but I was terrified. I thought that it was going to be a really big deal. And like I said the other week, I just feel really excited about it. I think it's going to be really fun. And I'm also going to be back on the Botox train. So everything's good in the world of life.
I love that for you. That really excites me.
Does it?
The Botox part. We are planning, or I say we are planning, I am involved in it now. Laura's 40th this weekend. Big party, big things.
And you're all invited. The address
We're having a Life Uncut meetup. Woo!
at Laura's house.
So the big thing that I guess I have been pushing against in terms of 40, it's not the age. I don't care about turning 40. I'm quite happy to have a 4 at the beginning of my number. It's organizing things. I think my life and the admin of life at the moment has been a lot. And because work is quite crazy and also having a baby, it's just kind of been a lot in every respect. And so this weekend, I'm having a 40th birthday party, which I had pushed against for a really long time. I was the one that was saying, let's not do anything. We'll just go out for dinner. And it was Matt who was really saying no, let's organize something. It's a big one. Let's make it special.
Yeah, you need to let your strands of hair down.
You need to let your postpartum regrowth wisp in the wind.
She knows I'm joking.
Oh.
Oh, you can only say that if you're a true friend and you don't really mean it. It's called comedy. Look it up.
Just want to keep you humble in your 40. Also, let those wrinkles out. Fucking enjoy it, you old bag.
Yesterday, sidestep. Yeah, we were with a friend of ours, a guy, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get a hair transplant." And Laura's like, "Oh, can I come with you?" She's like, maybe they'll do 2 for 1. I was like, I've also got a bald spot. We could do a 3 for 1 deal.
We can go too far. I would love a holiday to Turkey. Anyway, so okay, I was not wanting to have a party. I felt like the admin of it was too much. And Matt and my amazing friend Falcon and also another girlfriend Lulu have all taken over it, and they have done all the organizing. And it's gone from being like a little like nothing catch up where I was like, let's just, have like a small thing at the house. They just don't do anything in halves. And so
Falcon and Lulu were South American, different parts of South America, but their energy is the highest of energies. They are 2 of the most fun people I've ever met in my life. I spent New Year's with them.
yeah, so okay, and which was also random because I think that just came about spontaneously, right? But Falcon, I've spoken about him once or twice before, and this is the biggest shout out to him, which he will fucking love because he listens to every episode.
He's the best.
But he does not do things by half, and he is the most generous person I have ever met. Like he just will, for no reason at all, there'll be scrolls at the front door or donuts one day, or if it's a kid's birthday, he rocks up like he's Santa Claus. Like he's just crazy generous.
Not in a creep way either. And not to random birthdays. He knows them.
To our children's birthday. But he was actually Matt's minder on The Bachelor, and that's how we met. So when Matt was in The Bachelorette on Georgia Love's season, Falcon was his minder. He took care of him. And then when he became The Bachelor, Falcon then was the minder on that season.
I feel like people might need a little refresher of what a minder is because I wouldn't have known.
Okay, so a minder is like your dad in reality TV.
Well, I had mums. I had 2 women. A minder is what they do is you're never in the Bachelor mansion alone. You have to have people that look after you. So if you are the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, you have someone that's with you 24/7. They live with you. And if you're a contestant and there's 30 of you in a house, there's usually 2. They sleep there. They live there with you. They are there if you need anything, but they're also there to keep an eye on you. They monitor a phone. When you get one phone call home every 2 weeks, they monitor it to make sure you're not saying anything. And they're just there to like mind you. It's literally what it sounds like.
They're literally your mum or your dad. They do your grocery shopping for you. They help you with everything. They chauffeur you around. They wipe your ass.
They
do
me.
everything.
My minder caught me taking an illegal photo with a selfie with the alpaca because I smuggled a camera in. She's like, Brittany, did you just take a selfie with an alpaca? And I was like, what? No. She's
Why
like,
would I do that?
She's like, I saw you holding your hand up like a selfie. And I was like, I just miss it.
I miss the action.
I'm just getting prepared for my career post-batch. They're kind of, from what I understand from what you guys have told me, they're almost like an in-between step between production. As in, like, they will advocate for you, but they will also discuss with producers and kind of make sure everyone is happy in the middle, right?
Let's call it advocating.
They take care of you, and then they also report back to production so they can weaponize your inner thoughts.
I wouldn't use the word advocate, but they're just there.
The problem is, though, I don't think Falcon ever would do such a thing. Like, he was always on the side of the participants and, like, protecting us. Like, he was amazing. Anyway, they've taken over party planning. It's turned from being, like, an almost nothing 40th to being an extravaganza at my house, which I am, like, so excited by because I don't have to do anything. If I can just rock up to an event and everything is done for me, I'll be there. I will be there in a sparkly dress. I fucking cannot wait. What I've realized is that it's the admin of life that's too much for me. And the other part of this sounds so dumb. And I know it's like the most nothing thing to be frustrated about. And I apologize to both of you because I realize, like we talked about, I'm a particularly hard person to buy presents from. Hence why I'm always like, don't get me anything.
That's why we didn't get you anything.
Totally don't buy me anything.
Okay.
Which is I'm happy about. Like, don't buy me a single thing. But everyone being like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't have time for the admin to figure out what I want, to tell you what I want. Just don't get me anything.
Just say there's a wishing well.
I felt like Noah in The Notebook being like, what do you want? What do you want?
So my mom, my poor mom, she called me last night at 10:30.
Do you know what you can say to her? I want my time of birth.
Please and
Get me a new fucking birth certificate.
All I want is to get my horoscope done, Mum.
accurately.
Give me my time of birth. How am I going to know what my 40s are like without it? I want some reassurance. Yeah, so she called me at 10:30 last night. She was like, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, I want to not do the mental admin of figuring out what the fuck I want for my birthday. Don't ask me. I don't know.
I get that.
Like, I would just prefer not to do things, which is probably the reason why I removed myself from group chats. I just would prefer not to do things than have to plan it myself.
But that's what I said when we were looking. Remember, we were looking for your birthday present. I was ruling out all the things we couldn't get you, and I was like, Laura doesn't like to do things. Like that was literally that statement was what I said.
Although I will be honest, every so often I do get sad I don't get invited to anything anymore, and I'm like, I've done it to myself.
I'm a victim of my own choices.
Because you're like, I'm not writing back. Don't call me. Exit group chat, and you're like, how come I wasn't invited?
I was like, you guys look like you're having a lot of fun.
Or the funnier thing is when she has been invited, but she hasn't read the text.
Not yet.
But one thing that you did forget to say on your invitation was that you didn't want anyone else's children there because your children are not going to be there.
Yeah, look, I made a mistake. So I did do the invitation, and this does sort of just go to show how bad I am at planning things. I made the invitation. Everyone else is doing everything else. I just had to send the invitations to people, which I did, and I was like, job done.
Nailed it.
Anyway, it's only a couple of days away now because it's this Saturday, and I was at my sister-in-law's house, and she was like, oh, okay, we're all arriving at this time. And I was like, okay. And she goes, oh, have you got some activities for the kids planned? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, for the kids. And she has 3 kids of her own. And I was like, no, why would I have, I was like, my kids are not going to be there. I don't have activities for the kids. I was like, don't bring your kids. Don't bring them. I don't want them. She was like,
I'm also not planning activities. I haven't even planned the party.
And she was like, what? Oh, it's no kids. And I was like, yeah. I was like, why would you assume that children are invited to a 40th? I was like, that's crazy. And she was like, Laura, I just want you to know that people will assume
100%
that a day event at your house when you have 3 children would mean that they can bring their children.
I have to say I'm on her side.
I
know.
am too, sorry.
So now I've had to awkwardly message everyone and say,
There's
love
no
you.
magician. Don't come.
Don't bring your kids. I just want to have some kid-free time.
I have got a few messages coming through. The one job I have been tasked with, as of course, this morning. So
were you tasked with it, or did you choose to take it on?
No, look, well, I mean, Laura had a meltdown because her magician disappeared.
No. It came up in just casual conversation. I was like,
Casual conversation.
it's turned into an extravaganza. Now we have like activities. I mean, Matt organized a musician. And I said the reason why we have a musician is because we were going to have a magician, but the magician can't.
Autocorrect.
The magician can't do it. And Britt then spontaneously said, firstly, a magician at a 40th, weird. But she goes, also even weirder. I met 4 separate magicians on the weekend.
No, on the weekend I went to dinner with a friend who brought his friend, a random I'd never met. And somehow in that discussion, he said, how strange that I know 4 magicians in Bondi. Like that itself is such a weird statement. And then a day later, Laura said, how do I find a magician in Bondi? And I was like, I know. I was like, let me find. Anyway, he's just messaged. He said he knows a great magician. We all need a magician in our lives, and I'm going to link you.
Can I ask you guys, honestly, though, is it a bit weird to have a 40th birthday party at your house, have a magician and a musician come? I might also get a tarot card reader. I don't know why. I feel like everyone needs activities.
I feel like you need to stay in the M theme. What other occupation starts with an M? We need a musician, a magician, and...
Masturbation. Orgy. It's an orgy. It's a fucking surprise orgy. You know how people have surprise engagements? Take your clothes off.
I've turned my bedroom actually into a masturbation den for my 40th.
Leave your keys and your clothes at the door. The magician will take your clothes.
Sanitizer to the right.
Downstairs is for when anyone brings their kids, and upstairs is a masturbation room. It's going to be great fun. Anyway, I'm excited. Like I said,
What is the dress code? You haven't really told us.
wear whatever you like. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will figure that out in the next few days.
Speaking of dress code, did you notice anything today?
I got into work this morning and both Keish and Britt are wearing the exact same shirt. Yes, I did.
What about anything else?
And the same pants?
Well, the whole team dressed as Laura today.
What? I didn't even notice. Wait,
You wouldn't notice it on me who I kind of dress
Lockie's
like
just
you.
wearing a t-shirt.
And baggy pants.
Baggy shirt and baggy
Am
pants.
I that predictable that
Wait,
I wear?
that's like-
I thought you actually accidentally wore the same thing.
We didn't plan on wearing the same t-shirt.
No, we didn't
I
plan
just
on
wore
wearing
my
the same
normal
t-shirt.
outfit.
Wait, is Vanessa dressed like me?
Yes.
No, we'll bring him in. We'll show you later. But we were like, let's dress as Laura. And then we're like, that's hard. We just wear,
You just wear your pajamas to work.
we were like, what's the, yeah. And then a slick bun.
Okay, guys, and also like just sit with your legs spread so that everyone can see your crotch.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love this.
Yeah.
Guys, I didn't even realize that you were theme dressing. I thought you just accidentally, you look great.
Laura Whereas, like, I did
Best
think,
you've ever looked.
do you know what? I just thought of this right now, not to make it about me. I would love to one day, no, love, that's the wrong word, but no, okay, I'd love it. One day we should have a big party where everyone can dress as one of my hairstyles. I've had so many hairstyles. It's like Britney's hairstyle.
We'll
Because
do
it could
that
be
for
anything.
your 40th, Britt.
Maybe it's a life off.
We're going to come as a different. Well, I said that you should do that for your hens party. That was my hen suggestion, is that we should have all come as a different Britney era, because there's been so many of them, which is
Yeah.
going to make a great time for your 40th. Whereas I've just been consistently the same for the past 10 years.
But I don't have enough friends.
Slick back bun, loose pants t-shirt.
But then this is the one day you didn't wear.
A t-shirt or an appropriate bra, apparently. I'm really leaning into my 40s.
Or no, I like the bra thing. That's more me.
It's just that I've got my nipples are a bit big these days. But anyway, whatever.
Well, Laws, we did want to wish you a happy birthday. So we put a call out to the lifers to get them to write in some really cute things for you. The things that you've helped them with over the years, or why they love you. And some of them we had to exclude. Some of them,
This is so cute.
some of them were like, you've inspired me to get a labiectomy.
Can I say yesterday when we were trying to like prep what we've got to do for content, Keish was like, what do you want to talk about for your 40th? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, hey, Britt, I was like, do you have anything planned? And she goes, nah, just whatever you want to talk about.
It was a bit of a decoy. That story had already been up for like 30 hours. But I banned you. I specifically said to you, look, can you please not go onto the Life Uncut account, because I've muted you from seeing the stories from your own page.
Did
Come
you
to think
block
of it,
me from stories?
I should have. Actually, I haven't unmuted you yet.
Yeah.
But I also should have blocked the Tony May account, the Sentiment, all of your accounts.
Yeah, except Laura just went into our DMs this morning and she goes,
know.
oh my God, guys, someone's written something so nice to me. And we were, Keisha and I were like, get out. But you know what's even worse? And I felt so bad. Yesterday, Laura and I were on set together filming, and we're talking about today. And she's like, I was like, do you have anything for prep in the morning? Like, what do you want to bring, and what do you want to talk about? And she's like, I don't know. Have you guys planned anything? Like, I don't know what you want to bring. And I was like, well, I haven't planned.
No, I didn't mean it like
Not like that, but I was like, I haven't planned anything. She's like, well, okay. And I was like, I feel so bad acting like, I was like, yeah, I have done nothing. I was like, but I'm like, and I just felt like a fuckwit.
No, it was what I was just saying, because I was like, how much content do I need to bring? That's what it was about. I was like, how much prep do I need to do?
My own birthday.
I was like, do you want me to write a letter like it's radio? To myself when I was 30. Okay, this is a joke, but when you work in radio, like the constant trope is write a letter to your younger self.
Well, we did get a significant amount of DMs. Sorry to Sherry, who had to go through all of them. We're going to give this to you afterwards so you can read through it. We literally would
We
be
can't
here
read
for
them
over an
all.
hour if we read all of them. There were so many beautiful messages, but Britt and I have picked some of our favourite ones.
I definitely left out the ones where people said they liked you better.
I'll start with one of the longer ones. Laura's been in my ears weekly for, is it 6 years now? I'm super introverted and can go for a stupidly long time without seeing friends. I get completely lost in my work, and working from home in the past 10 years, I've really missed those everyday girly chats with like-minded women. Having Laura in my ears through the day-to-day isolation of motherhood and running a one-woman business has honestly helped my sanity. Her vulnerability as a mother, a woman, and as a human has made me feel less alone. She's so unapologetically herself, and the kind of person who makes you feel like it's okay to be yourself too. I've cried with her over our shared experience of her stepdad going through terminal cancer, felt seen while trying to navigate the challenges of balancing motherhood and business, and even questioned if maybe I'm more normal than I thought. All because she is so vulnerable and generous with what she shares. Her
And slightly
perspective
insane.
is balanced and open-minded, and she's such a joy to listen to.
Oh, it's so nice.
Well, save those tears because I'm coming in with a good one.
compliments make me feel weird.
Okay, this one actually was really emotional. Her feet. I am 100% the same, and I also hate my toes cramped up in shoes. And I love having a parasocial mate who understands.
Oh, I'm here for you, babe. I got your back and your feet.
Listening to Laura speak about grief and her grandparents really resonated with me, and I'm very thankful. It helped me during a really tough time when my mother was very sick after losing her own mother. Happy birthday, Laura.
Oh.
For the last 7 years, every listen, she's picked me up. Our stories have collided with parenting and pregnancy loss, and she's very relatable and very, very funny. Also, wearing my Tony May gives me so much joy, and meeting her at the playground was the best ever. They say not to meet your heroes, but she's exceeded what I would have expected. So kind and so great.
I love that we just snuck a Life Uncut 20 Tony May code. And also, Tony May, everyone.
And there's a new launch time tomorrow.
20% off Life Uncut 20.
A favourite moment of mine is definitely the incorrect lyrics with I shot the sheriff. Still laugh about it regularly.
Making pissing my pants absolutely normal. I'm not alone.
We do like to make people feel. Wait, what's the word? We do like to
Make them feel less alone.
No,
Galvanize.
no,
Triangulated.
Deeply.
destigmatize. And if I can bring the destigmatization of pissing your pants to this podcast, I'm so here for it.
Okay, this one. Laura's perspective on life and people genuinely makes me a better person. Listening to her answer Life Uncuts each week with honest advice, but always with empathy and understanding. She has a gift for finding the best in people and has helped me to look at many things in my life with a different, kinder, and more compassionate perspective. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong.
Oh,
I want to cry.
This is so nice.
I can't wait you guys do this for me.
This is the nice. No one's ever said such nice things about me.
I think about the fact that she called her vagina a wizard sleeve an unhealthy amount, and it just makes me laugh to myself.
The estrogen has left my body. It's less wizard sleevey now. It's more pruny.
Fucking the
It's
wizard
more like shriveled ham.
Hearing her vows to Maddie J helped me realise that one day I might want to get married when I thought it would never be on the cards for me.
Oh, that's nice.
That's really
isn't it?
nice.
That's so cute.
The fact that she washes her feet in the sink before bed makes me feel super seen and not alone.
Who wrote that? Can we get that person's handle? I love them.
I also hate going to bed with dirty feet, but I'm often also too lazy for a shower.
Thank you. I just feel so seen. I knew I had my people. I'm so glad I've built this community around me.
No, this is a really nice one. As much as we take the piss. My acceptance and vulnerability with my miscarriage. Brave to talk openly about it and connect with other women. And she gave light to a really dark time.
Oh, guys.
We actually got a lot of messages about miscarriage specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I feel emotional even saying it, but like I get so many messages from women still every week from women who, and then like the episodes we did around miscarriage are from years and years ago for us, but like every single week I have people message me, and it is such a fucking privilege that in a time when you're going through something that has been so immense and enormous, and you know that you're dealing with the grief of it, that you reach out. I feel forever grateful. We're so lucky that we get to do what we do.
I do, just as the last one, I do want to finish off with one big lesson. This is super random. Laura has taught me a lot, but mainly she taught me about Buster needing to get his anal glands expressed. I didn't realize that dogs needed that, and I finally figured out why my dog's asshole stunk all the time. Thanks, Laura. Oh, if you're going to leave them with anything.
40 years on this planet, and I'm so happy that that is the wisdom that I've imparted. Oh, no!
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Laura. Yay! Happy birthday to you. Oh my God.
Hooray!
Guys, it's so nice. It's not even.
Hooray! Hooray! Now let's try and not set off the smile.
Guys, it's so nice. It's not even one of those next day deliveries. There's so much organizing.
It's tiramisu.
It's my favorite.
Tiramisu, because you love tiramisu.
Oh, now I feel all emotional. We're about to set off the smoke alarms in the studio, guys, and we're gonna have to evacuate the entire building.
And we also planned some 40th balloons that I'm not sure if you can see. They are behind you. And they are quite obnoxiously large.
I'm going home now. I'm back to bed, guys. Happy 40th to me. That's the whole episode. Whee! No, look, I really wanted to say, look, guys, thank you firstly for doing that and pulling that together. But I feel so grateful. I think one of the reasons why I'm going into this next decade of life and not being anxious about the fact that I'm 40 or feeling as though I need more to feel happy or satisfied isn't because I've come to this place of being like, oh, I'm so content with what I have in my life. It's because I'm so fucking grateful for what we have. And a huge part of that is you guys, like the listeners, our community that we've built over the past 7 years. And thank you so much. Like that just means the absolute world to me, because sometimes it does feel like we're sitting in a room just talking into a void.
There's so many that we will send you.
We know that you're all there, and yeah. You mean the world to us, so thank you.
Another one was, I didn't see that one, her reaction to Britt's engagement. Not my engagement, but your reaction. We love you guys. You guys are the best.
What are we doing now?
I just need to move something.
Am I getting a lap dance? Oh, are you doing a dance now? Britt, take your shirt off. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Weirdo.
Are you ready now?
No! Please give it up for your private performance! It's like 9 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
This was also my wedding song.
I know.
The sun begins to fade.
Guys, we need to talk about why the US Bachelorette has just been cancelled 2 days before it was supposed to be released. Like 2 days is wild to have filmed an entire series. You've promoted it. You're 2 days out from releasing it and you can the whole series.
Have they canned it or have they just put it on pause at the moment?
It is cancelled, baby. That is down the gurgler.
Well, they've said they've paused it. Let's see. Okay, I agree. I don't think that they're ever going to air it because I don't think they're ever going to be able to for reasons we'll get into. However, at the moment, they're just saying that they put it on pause because that's a lot to cancel.
All right, let's catch up to speed. The Bachelorette in the US, her name is Taylor Frankie Paul. If you have never heard of her before, you would have this past week because of a video that has been circulating. Now, we're going to talk about the video in a second, but to set up who she is, Taylor was ground zero of Mum Talk. So back in 2020, Mum Talk was a group of Mormon wives who went viral for bringing Mormonism into the forefront and making it cool and fashionable and popular and flipping the idea of what we think Mormons are on its head.
Well, it certainly did that.
It really did. It definitely gave us a new outlook. But because that Mum Talk blew up so much, they ended up creating a series called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And Taylor was one of the leads of that for 4 years. Like, she was an integral part of that TV series. Now, I do want to say I have not seen that series. Like, I didn't get sucked into The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Keisha watched a little bit. Laura also hasn't been sucked in.
No, I've seen one. Okay, I was a 1 episode galley and I didn't quite get as hooked as what other people have. But I know that it is, it's really been a bit of a cultural phenomenon, the whole Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. But one thing that if you are someone like us who hasn't been entrenched in the series, and for anyone who has watched it, this is going to be not news to you. But the reason why the series came about is because Taylor exposed something that was going on in this Mum Talk community. So these Mormon couples who are all friends, who are influencers, were doing something that is called soft swinging. So here they are presenting this traditional wholesome front, really idealized version of what a Mormon life is on TikTok.
It's supposed to be monogamous.
Yeah, a contemporary Mormon life is on TikTok. But actually, they were all fucking each other. And they had all these different rules for it, right? Like they were able to sleep with each other's partners, but only if they were in the room together. And the reason why it blew up was because Taylor and another person's partner ended up getting drunk and having sex together and having some feelings for each other, which broke the rules. And she's since come out and she was kind of celebrated for being so honest about it on a live stream where she was talking about how this is what happened and the reason why the friendship breakdown happened this way. But she was like, it is a very, I guess, hypocritical situation where I'm being framed as this house wrecker, but you, and her quote unquote said, but you were sucking my husband's dick. That's literally how she framed it. So people have applauded her for always being incredibly honest, vulnerable, transparent. This concept of like, Taylor can't lie. She'll say it as it is.
No filter.
And that's where this really unhinged quite volatile TV series came from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And because it was and has garnered such popularity, she was cast as the Bachelorette for this current season.
Well, the show's huge. And Taylor also has 6 million TikTok followers. She's the first person in the Bachelorette season in the US ever to be cast outside of the Bachelor franchise. So, like, it's different over in the US. Here in Australia, we use anyone for the Bachelor and Bachelorette. Like, if we think they're great and interesting and worthy of that position, we cast them. But in the US, they always try to use somebody that has come from the season. So someone from the Bachelorette would become the Bachelor and vice versa.
We've done it a few times here, and it really, I mean, obviously, like Matt, for example.
Oh, we
That's
do it.
My husband. You know, he was on Georgia Love season, and then he was cast as the Bachelor. There is a bit of a storyline that happens with that where you're invested in the heartbreak that you've seen play out on the season before.
Yes.
And it's that person's opportunity to have their happy ever after or their redemption story or whatever it looks like. Look, there's many reasons why Taylor was chosen to be this year's Bachelorette. I think statistically across the world, the Bachelor franchise has had a huge dip in viewership. You know, it happened in Australia, hence why it's been completely parked here. And Channel 9 is now doing The Golden Bachelor, which is a reimagined version of The Bachelor.
Well, Taylor's on season 22. So for 22 years, they have dropped the same franchise. It's pretty normal to get over something and want some kind of a new format.
Yeah, and to shake it up. And I guess the reality is that The Bachelor still being entrenched in reality TV, you can't do the same thing in reality TV and still get the net outcome of having immense viewers and, you know, engagement. The thing with reality TV is that we want more controversial. There's this saying, if it bleeds, it leads, which means if there's drama, you'll get the views. Look at Maths in Australia. It's the most dramatic show. It's also the most watched free-to-air show that has been created within Australia.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same in the States. And The Bachelor is now competing against so many other reality TV shows that are so controversial. So although it was a deviation choosing her to be on this series, they did it knowing that it was going to be pushing the boundaries and garnering a hell of a lot of views.
I don't have a problem with what the ABC did by saying, hey, let's try something new. Let's cross-promote with 2 shows. We know that's a big show, The Mormon Wives. We know that we need more viewers on The Bachelorette. Let's take somebody that's great from that and bring them over. There's nothing wrong with that.
And importantly, they are actually owned by the same people.
Exactly.
So Disney owns it all.
Yeah, it's a cross promotion. That's the whole point, right? You're keeping it within the family. Now, where they went wrong is the person that they cast. So the reason that The Bachelorette has been cancelled 2 days before was a video that was released by TMZ. Now, in 2023, and this isn't a secret, this has been out on the Mormon Wives TV show, Taylor Frankie Paul herself has done multiple interviews surrounding it. Basically, she talks about a domestic violence assault where she was charged, and that was against her on again, off again, on screen partner and the father of one of her children. So she has a 2-year-old with this man called Dakota. Now, they've had a very volatile on and off relationship for years. So in this video, what you see is it's filmed from Dakota's perspective. He's obviously got his iPhone out because Taylor is having an absolute meltdown. And so he, for whatever reason, has thought, I need to film this, which makes me think it is a repeat incident on Taylor's behalf. And he has said that. He said that it was volatile all the time. So basically, it's at nighttime. It looks like they've come home. She's intoxicated and she's verbally and physically abusing him. She's throwing steel metal bar stools at him, and I mean throwing. We're going to put the video on our YouTube if you want to go and have a look if you haven't seen it, but you can, the video is everywhere if you guys want to go and have a look. So she's throwing these bar stools at him and she's physically comes up to assault him with her own body. She's hitting him.
She also had him in a chokehold at the start of the video.
She had him in a chokehold, and the worst part about this, I don't even know if it's the worst part, it's just another part, but her daughter is on the couch in the same room, and allegedly she was hit by one of the stools at one point. Like, she was involved in this incident.
The thing is this incident is not something that was private. It's not something that no one didn't know about. It actually was part of the storyline of the TV show, The Mormon Wives. So, it is something that has been very well known, and she is actually on probation still for this incident. This is what she was charged for in 2023 for that incident. She was charged with aggravated assault, criminal mischief, 2 counts of domestic violence in the presence of a child abuse. However, she pled guilty to aggravated assault in exchange for the dismissal of all other charges. Now, this information has been available. It was available to the ABC. It has played into the storyline. There's a few different things we want to talk about here because Two things can be true at the same time. And Taylor has come out and said that she was in an abusive relationship and she was the victim of abuse also. But it's very confronting to see assault rather than just read the charges. I think anyone who watches that video would be absolutely like have the wind taken out of them. It is absolutely revolting behavior that cannot be excused and cannot be minimized by saying, oh, but she also experienced assault or she also experienced violence. What I think when I say two things can be true at the same time, I do think that Taylor can be a victim and also be a perpetrator in the same relationship and in the same situation.
Well, the question here is, why did the ABC cast her? Did they cast her because of the drama or in spite of the drama?
No, they cast it because of the drama.
I think they cast it. I think both.
I think the controversy was the strategy. And now I think that they have realized that the public's reaction to seeing the video, like you said, we all knew about it. We all knew that these things were very, very public. It was a part of a storyline of Mormon wives. But seeing it does make you feel different. And I also think hearing it, there is a particular aspect for anyone who has experienced violence that I think and I know the word triggering is really thrown around a lot, but hearing the movement of the people in that video, hearing the child cry after they were allegedly struck by one of the stools, it is particularly shocking. And I think it's one of those situations where there's a lot of talk about, did Dakota deliberately release this just beforehand to take away, Taylor's moment and take away the fact that she was about to get all of this adoration from being the Bachelorette. Her spokespeople have come out and responded to, this video being posted on TMZ and said that Taylor is grateful for ABC's support. They said after years of silently suffering extensive mental and physical abuse as well as threats of retaliation, Taylor is finally gaining the strength to face her accuser and taking steps to ensure that she and her children are protected from any further harm. Taylor has remained silent out of fear of further abuse, retaliation, and public shaming. She's currently exploring all of her options, seeking support and preparing to own and share her story.
I think we can just cut to the chase here. What were they thinking? What was the ABC thinking? And I know exactly what you just said, both of you, in that statement, and you, Laura, just your own personal opinion. Of course, two things can be true at once. But you should have never cast her as the Bachelorette. Even if we hadn't seen the video, there were charges and investigations into domestic violence.
The thing is, they were willing to take the punt because so far on The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that conversation, that storyline had come out. She had, I guess, skated through the controversy and she'd made it out the other side and people still loved her. They loved her realness. They had been somewhat forgiving of this domestic violence assault charge because of, I guess, the transparency, the fact that they had made up in the relationship. But there is something so different about seeing the video evidence and seeing how incriminating it is. And, it does mean that it becomes a one-sided because there is no video of Dakota being physically abusive towards Taylor. Maybe something like that will come out. But do you know what it made me think of? You remember the video that came out of P. Diddy and Cassie in the lift? And we talked about it when it happened. I think that was last year. And she's trying to leave. She's trying to get out of the apartment building and she gets to the lift and he gets to the lift and he grabs her by the hair and he drags her away. And it is so violent to see. It is absolutely shocking. For years, people knew that there was assault going on in that relationship. They had spoken about it. There had been conversations about it. There is something very different, and I'm not saying that it's okay, but there's something so different about speaking about violence, speaking about domestic violence, assault, and actually seeing it. And that's why people get away with it for so long, because it is hidden violence. And we really do manage to other it when we haven't physically seen it ourselves.
Yeah, but this is where I agree with you. When you see something, it's far more confronting. But for a show like this, as big as this is, for a company like the ABC, to actively make a choice to cast somebody that has a domestic violence past.
They're on probation for it.
They're still on probation. You would never do that if a man had been convicted or...
No, we'll just make him the president.
Well, yeah, he can just run the country. But the Bachelorette and the Bachelor, by all accounts, was always supposed to be somebody that was like the most eligible person, like the best partner that you could want, somebody that you could only... Desirable and something you could only dream about. And Taylor's not that. Somebody that's still on probation, that has openly spoken about how she was the aggravator, she was the aggressor. Like she says that about herself. She says, I was the aggressor in that situation. I got charged because the evidence was damning. I did it. She owned the fact. And just because you own a fact doesn't mean it's okay. Like, you still, fucking hell, you could have anyone you want in that country. Are you telling me that was the most eligible person you could find? And there is a breach of their duty of care in that, because you have then chosen to put 20 or 30 other people in a situation with somebody that is still on probation for DV. But at the end of the day, ABC had a choice and they actively made this one.
ABC didn't cancel the show because they saw the video and they knew about it. They cancelled it because we saw it.
Totally.
There is an added layer to this in that they have had to halt the filming of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, the newer season, because there has been a fresh allegation from February that a lot of people are confusing for this particular video. There is an allegation that has been taken to police about her assaulting Dakota again, strangling him with a necklace. It's really dark, and I think we all have the same opinion about the fact that, no, you absolutely should not be casting someone who did this. But they did it because she's a controversial character. And it kind of just makes me question, like, how far are they actually willing to push the boundaries? They're pushing it into the fact that we're putting people on our screens and advocating for them and heralding them as this person who everyone should want to be with, who have actual criminal charges. And I do actually wonder whether this is going to have a repercussion. I mean, the argument can be made that none of the contestants going into the show didn't know about this because it has been very public.
But do you know what I think it's going to be? It's going to be a reality check for ABC and for the networks, because they've pushed it. They know controversy sells, and they have skirted that fine line for so long. And now they're in a situation where they've had to pull an entire production that has cost them, I mean, the estimation is like $100 million. They've had to cancel something that would be such an enormous debt to them. They've had to disappoint sponsors. They've also put like 30 people's lives on hold as well, all the participants. I mean, her life as well. Every single person has been affected in this, not just them, but the people who worked on the show. Like, there's so much that goes into this, and they knew about it. They thought the risk was worth it. And then the people, the public who saw the video told them it wasn't. And they told them they would boycott the franchise. And they knew that if they didn't pull this, there was no coming back, not just for this one show, but for Mormon Wives and pretty much for the ABC in general. And it goes against, because it's ABC, but also it's Disney. It goes against the Disney franchise in totality. Like, Disney is supposed to be family friendly first. And a child just got hit by a chair in a domestic violence incident, which speaks volumes about the fact that they had to take action.
It's not even just that, though. It's also their sponsors are pulling out left, right and centre, not just from these shows.
Everything. It's the great boycott.
If they kept these shows on, they wouldn't just lose sponsors from the shows. They'd lose sponsors from the network. But in relation to Keish, what you just said, you know, all the contestants knew the information was out there and they made a choice. One of the men that participated on the show, anonymously, he hasn't said who he is, but he came out and said, part of me is just so fucking pissed. We all gave up so much to go and do this. We all came in with open hearts. We treated her kindly and respectfully and gave her a second chance. We tried to let her turn over a new leaf, and we all believed her when she said she did. Obviously, the way she acted and the way she treated all of us in hindsight is just a waste of time, a waste of energy, and a waste of emotional intelligence.
Well, I think it's important to establish that this video that came out is obviously old content. It was from years ago. However, there has been new reports. One is that she slept with Dakota. This is her ex who was in the video. She slept with Dakota just before going into the Batch Mansion, which, once again, when you're saying like, oh, I'm there because I want love and I'm so committed to my new relationships, the fact that you're still entwined in this toxic relationship up until the moment that you leave. She also was the very first Bachelorette who still had access to her phone throughout the filming. So now there's questions about whether that, I mean, if you just fucked your ex the day before you're going in, you're probably still texting them. But then there's been something else that's come out, which is also pretty disturbing. So after coming out of the Batch Mansion, Dakota has released that Taylor called him 150 times in 90 minutes. That in itself is a level of harassment that's almost like incomprehensible. How do you call? Yeah, it's completely unhinged. So like,
but she's also at that point, Laws. She's finished the season with somebody.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like these people who are saying, look, we were willing to give her a second chance. We've invested all this time. I understand why they feel betrayed and led on by this, because I'm sure during the filming process, she was committed to the process of meeting someone. But the second that she's out of it, she's harassing her ex-partner with incessant phone calls. The whole thing is just so unbelievably toxic, and it's just painted the Bachelor franchise in such a grotesque way because, like you said, Britt, it was meant to be that one show where people actually find a happy ever after. Like, I mean, look, not to be like, look at us, but like, I mean, Matt and I met on this show. Like, we have a family
works.
in Australia. 50% of the couples have successful relationships off the back of it. Like, it's one of the highest statistic shows for actually having successful relationships.
It's actually got crazy statistics. It's also the only country that one bachelor's never picked anyone. Like, that's a high statistic. We're smashing it out of the park.
It was good for some of us.
But that's a good point. Like, Laura and I, we have a different perspective on this because we've lived this franchise. We went into this mansion for 3 months and filmed this. We can tell you how thorough the background checks are, but we can also tell you why we think we're cast. And there are definitely people that are cast for drama. Now, that's mainly usually the contestants. This is the difference. Usually it's the participants and contestants that are the drama, and the bachelor or the bachelorette, the main character, is supposed to be amazing.
Can I ask actual questions about that?
Well, yeah.
How do they find out who the crazy people are?
Well, you go through such thorough audition processes, like multiple days with multiple people, and you're doing psych tests and you're speaking to different producers who are learning everything about your history. And I always think, so in these scenarios, when they're casting, don't quote me on this, but I have had some people in the past tell me this. There's only ever 3 or 4 people that are cast that they think actually could be the match. Then there are people that are like cast because they're normal and they might make it, but they don't think they're the top 3. And then the rest of it is cast for a TV show.
Crazies.
The drama. So it's
the
like
rest is the crazies.
And so I think I was cast for 2 reasons. I think I was cast because they genuinely thought I was a match, but they also cast me because of my history. And when I say history, I'd been single for a long time and I had an ex that was a fucking psycho. He had a double life. Like, he was marrying 2 people at the same time. He was calling kids the same names. And like,
But did you talk about that on the show?
Yeah, I talked about it, but not in detail. So Nick knew and they knew my storyline. But all I ever said for my own safety purposes was I was never going to go into detail on that because I had so much anxiety about this person and what he could or would do, because he had threatened me in the past after those things came out. And so I've never gone into detail about that. But I think I was cast for 2 reasons. Because they could see me at the end. I had so much in common with Nick, but also because I had an interesting past that could be brought up in a way. And it was never made a storyline because I did make that clear. But it did give me a background, I guess, that people could feel something for. Like, wow, this girl's been through the ringer. And that's what they do. They want to make sure that there is something because they are creating a show.
Yeah, but like you said, they go for drama within the contestants, not drama within the main lead. And that's kind of where they've gone wrong. I mean, I think that they really thought that this would pay dividends for them. I mean, and had this video not come out, it would have paid dividends for them. If this video had never come out and never surfaced, the American public were up until this point okay with the fact that she had these charges laid against her. They were okay with the fact that this story had happened. I think part of that acceptance is the fact that her and Dakota got back together. It's because there's been multiple seasons of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So like, you've been able to see her in the complex character development of the woman that she is. We don't just see her. When you see all sides to someone, you see the faults, you see the facets of them that make them admirable or loved, and this truth teller, this person that will say anything or do anything because that's just authentically who they are. The thing that people couldn't get over was seeing the physical violence. And I also think maybe even more so than the physical violence towards Dakota was seeing her as a bad mother.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing we hate more than, I guess, like a crazy woman is someone that we can pigeon as someone who is a terrible mother and a neglectful mother. And that goes against everything that, you know, sits and kind of stands within these traditional values, and definitely the traditional values of The Bachelor. And I think seeing that little kid, you don't see it fully in the video, but you see the chair go off to the side and you hear a child cry. I think that was, for me as well, the most gut-wrenching part of that video series. I could almost be like, wow, this is all crazy up until that point. And I was like, that's devastating.
Yeah. I think also think about the contestants. Like, if you had Laura gone through 3 months of your life, you'd given up work. Some of them have to quit work. Some of them, you're putting all your stuff in storage. You're getting rid of your rental apartments. You are committed emotionally, physically. You were there. Imagine filming that for that long.
Yeah.
And then them saying, sorry, you're still under contract for a year, so don't talk about it. We still own you, but you're not going to get anything from this. You're not going to. And what about the guy that won? Like, there was a guy that finished this with her, and apparently they've broken up and he's been looked at for the next Bachelor, which makes a lot of sense. But the other thing is, and it would be crazy not to talk about it, I, of course, think that this should have been cancelled. It's crazy to think how quickly we cancel a woman, though, when there are so many men in the public eye, including the President of the United States, that have horrific allegations and charges against them, and we don't cancel them. And I'm not saying that she shouldn't have been cancelled and the show shouldn't have been cancelled. I just think that the way that we approach men and women, and it's an age-old trope, it's nothing new here, but it's pretty insane to see the different reactions.
My question is, though, would we cancel them if we had video evidence? I wonder if we would, because P. Diddy was not cancelled until we saw the video evidence. I think sometimes we are way more capable of turning a blind eye. And I agree. Like, there are so many examples of the media turning a blind eye to horrific behaviour that have happened by men. I mean, it happens if you can throw a ball in football in Australia, don't worry, you can get away with pretty much anything and still have a career in hosting any sort of football show or commentating, whatever. But the thing is we don't have video evidence of that. So it's so easy to go, yeah, that happened in private. It's in the dark. But there was something very visceral around seeing it. And I think it would have been the same thing in this instance. And maybe that's kind of like where I've landed on this. We did turn a blind eye to it. We were accepting of it. She's been charged. It's not accusations of assault. She was charged with way more. She settled on a lower plea. And she has admitted it. Like you said, on podcasts, she's admitted it multiple times that she's an aggravator and she behaves badly and toxic in relationships. And we allowed it. As the public, we also were like, we're okay, we stand you. You got 6 million followers, we love you. But the second that video came out, everyone turned. And I really want to be careful with how we leave this conversation, because like I said at the very beginning of this, two things can be true. I do think Taylor is a victim. I absolutely think that she has experienced physical assault as well in that relationship. She has spoken about the toxicity and the abuse that she has experienced also at the hands of Dakota.
Yeah.
I think it was timed because he wanted to create maximum amount of damage to her. I think there was a strategy behind it. I believe all those things. And I don't want to take away from those things from her. And I also don't even I don't know this woman. I don't think that one video can be enough to say you are a terrible mother. I'm saying that's the perception that we receive from the video, but like, we are making a judgment on her entire person based on her worst moment in her entire life. I'm sure she isn't that horrible. However, she still should not have been cast as the Bachelorette. That's the big takeaway from this. It's not about painting her as this one-dimensional person. I just don't think that if you have an active charge against you, you should be someone that's pinned up as the most desirable person in the country. I just don't agree.
And I don't think she's doing herself any favors the way that she's handling this. It's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. She's just back on TikTok. She's reposting people. She's commenting. She's responding to people. And somebody wrote to her and said, Taylor, put your phone down. Like, take a breath. Yeah. And she wrote back and said, what do you want me to do? Look at a blank wall or something? Like, it's almost, I don't think you can be in this situation and then just play on. Like, you have to take a moment and maybe take a shitload more accountability. And I just think the way she's dealing with it is pushing people further away.
See, I think in that very particular instance, the reality TV world is more at fault. And I think I want to live in a world where people can be forgiven for really horrible things that they do. If they, repent for the things that they've done, if they take accountability, they apologize and they don't do the behavior again. And that is a particular facet of Taylor that, these new allegations, potentially she hasn't done that. I don't think they should be platformed. I think we all agree on that. But ABC and Disney put her into a circus. They made her the main performer of that circus. And now she can't escape the circus. She is a part of this world where I'm like, no wonder she's not putting her phone down. This person has been manipulated to be this person, to be this controversial, to create and make money. You can't just escape that.
She was always controversial. It's what came first, the chicken or the egg, She always had it in her, which is why they created a show off the back of it. That probably perpetuated those feelings and those personality traits. But like, she definitely had that in her.
I think it is incredibly layered, because I also think that there's a third part to this. The reason why it's so successful and so wanted is because we as the viewers love the drama. We do. It's the reality. And we're the ones, we are paying them with our viewership. So like, everyone always says, and it's the same with all reality TV. People are like, ban it. It's so terrible. And it's like, stop watching then. Because if you actually want to ban something, boycott it. Don't ban it by watching it and then being angry. If you're watching it and then being angry, you are feeding the beast and you are continuing the controversy.
You vote with views.
You vote with views, exactly.
Okay, let's do suck and sweet, our highlight and our low light for the week. I'm going to kick it off.
Go!
Suck.
I love that.
I'm getting a sty.
Fucking that sucks.
I know why. It's all the makeup on and off for the show and the filming, and like we're doing so much of it.
Can you please promise me that you will not rub a gold ring on it? It is the silliest.
I don't, but I teabag.
Of course you do.
But no, apparently the green steeping a hot green tea bag on your eye, but it's the same sentiment as just a hot water warm wash, but like it just makes me feel better if it's a tea bag.
I remember when I was a little kid and someone was like, you rub a gold ring on it, and I rubbed my mum's ring on my eye, and then it made it so much worse because it was not a clean ring. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's like sticking a swollen hand or finger or something in butter. Has anyone heard that one? I think that's like an old. I'll shut up. What was your suck?
My sweet is, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll report back next week. My sweet is, I may have a magician.
Oh my God,
but I don't.
A magician.
No, I haven't booked it. I'm closer. I'm going through. There's a couple of them. They're pretty booked out. It's 4 days away, but we're close.
Britt's actually been Googling and there's YouTubes that she's going to learn in the next few days.
I've learned some.
She is the magician.
If you rock out wearing a wizard cape, I'll be fucking thrilled.
We could go as Laura's wizard sleeves.
Why are you guys not here dressed as my vagina? I'm so offended. All right, my suck for the week. I'm going to keep this super brief, but it was a terrible suck. I spent my Saturday night at Emergency with Poppy.
I don't think this is a super brief chat.
I am going to keep it brief though because
is she all right?
Yeah. I mean, she's okay now. She's been sick. I think I told you guys she's been sick for like a week now with the cold, but she had a choking episode on Saturday night, and she
on what?
On
like
we
food?
Don't know. No, on her own phlegm. So she was like asleep. Well, she wasn't asleep. I was putting her to sleep. She started coughing and then she just went and then just stopped breathing and could not breathe. And she was trying to like sputter, and I had to do back blows. It was like one of the most intensely scary parenting moments I've had.
Did you call an ambulance or did you just?
I didn't. Well, she ended up, so I did back blows and then she ended up vomiting, and then it happened a second time, and then she vomited a second time, and this all went over a couple of minutes, like, and then by the time she had this full blowout vomit the second time, she was breathing, but it was super rattly. Like I was worried she had. It
wasn't like a clean airway kind of.
No, I was worried she had milk that went into her lungs, but she literally, by the time she went blue, and then she started breathing again, and then vomiting, and then breathing again, and then she was just smiling. She's the fucking happiest baby. She was like, thank you,
That's
Mom.
so scary, man.
And so I got, unfortunately, Matt was at the fucking soccer. So he'd taken my car and I had no car seat. So I ended up getting a taxi to the hospital because I didn't want to call an ambulance because I was like,
Dude, I'm also down the road. Just call me. I can be at your house in 2 seconds for something like that.
I know.
Even because you got to leave the kids.
Well, no, Ellie was there. So it was really...
God.
It was really full on. Anyway, we got to the hospital. They checked her out. They kept her there for observation, and she hasn't done it again. So we're in the clear. But I was like, fucking hell. So yeah, that was a real suck. I'm glad that I did the baby CPR stuff because then I felt a little bit like I knew what I was doing, and it was the back blows that cleared it. The back blows made a big difference. So that happened. Oh my God. And my sweet for the week is what you guys just did. It was so nice.
Thank you. And you haven't even opened your present
yet. I know, I haven't even opened my present.
It gets better.
But my sweet for the week is, guys, I can't wait to read all the messages. Thank you to everyone who did send one in. I'm not good with compliments, but I appreciate it deeply. And yeah, you are all my sweet for the weeks.
Yay, we love you.
40, fabulous and 40. It's my give no fucks era I'm mentoring.
Love that. I can't wait for mine. No, I can't actually.
Fabulous and 40.
Guys, please keep your Ask Uncuts, Accident Unfilters, everything that we could possibly write in your aftermaths. Come into Instagram, Life Uncut Podcast, and you know the drill. Tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your dog, tell your friends, and share the love because
I'm turning 40. Woo!